reality-shifting anomaly, but what it really is nothing more than mass cognitive dissonance induced through controlled information manipulation. People aren't misremembering events or details. They're experiencing the effects of a massive psychological warfare operation. TV equals nervous system manipulation device. Television wasn't designed just for entertainment. It was intentionally engineered as a tool for entraining the subconscious. It's not just about watching shows. It's about reprogramming the bioelectric responses in our brains. When you sit in front of a screen, your brain enters a passive hypnotic state, meaning you absorb information without critically analyzing it. TV as an entrainment device is patented and proven. The more you watch, the more the media can program your thoughts and perceptions, guiding you into accepting the narrative they want you to adopt. Timeline persuasion equals real. What we call the Mandela Effect isn't about reality changing. It's a deliberate act of persuading people to believe their memories are false. This is done by erasing old records and replacing them with new narratives, then gaslighting an entire population into accepting these manipulated versions of the past as reality. The power of perception is real, and they manipulate it constantly. Timeline clashing could be happening, but not in the way the media or movies portray. People think of timeline breaks as huge shifts or dimensions collapsing, but in reality, time is shaping perception and consciousness in more subtle ways. Ever noticed how people's personalities change depending on where they are from? The East Coast has a different energy than the West Coast, and it's not just culture. It's a bioelectric frequency shift tied directly to time flow. The differences aren't simply social. They're the result of how time zones influence us on an energetic level. CERN, the atom smasher and reality disruptor. When it comes to CERN and their supposed attempts to break down reality at the quantum level, the real question is, how would we even perceive those changes? If CERN truly is altering quantum probability, it wouldn't necessarily manifest as dimension jumps, but rather as subtle timeline nudges. The changes could be so subtle that most of us wouldn't even realize they were happening. If you're not an astral projector or someone outside of this 3D construct, you're likely not going to see these shifts. But for those of us paying close attention, these tiny ripples of altered reality might manifest in our memories and perceptions, little things that feel out of place but hard to define. So in conclusion, no, the Mandela Effect is not real in the way people think. Yes, timeline perception manipulation is real. It's happening right now. Yes, they're rewriting history in real time, erasing old records and replacing them with new ones. Yes, TV and digital media were designed to control perception and influence how we experience reality. Yes, time zones influence energy. It's not just a measurement, it's a real, functional frequency shift. CERN, it could be altering probability at a quantum level, but it would be nearly impossible to prove without direct access to the data. What's happening isn't just a misremembered moment, it's engineered social engineering. The Mandela Effect, as popularly described, is an intentional form of memory manipulation that is done to us on a massive scale, and its purpose is to reshape history and culture without us even realizing it. The main tool for this manipulation is media. Through media saturation, constant reprints, and subtle alterations in well-known symbols or events, they rewrite cultural history. It's a form of psychological conditioning that most people don't even realize is happening. Engineered memory edits. Some examples of this memory manipulation include 1. Monopoly Man and the monocle. He absolutely had a monocle at one point in pop culture, but now people are told they're wrong for remembering it. This is no accident. It's part of shifting public memory to rewrite history. 2. Berenstain Bears versus Berenstain Bears. It was Berenstein, but all traces of that name were edited to Berenstain, and people were told it was a glitch in memory, further destabilizing their grip on reality. 3. Looney Tunes versus Looney Tunes. A subtle shift in branding. Tunes was the correct spelling, but the rebranding to Tunes was part of reprogramming the mind to focus more on sound and conditioning than on the traditional cartoons people grew up with. 4. Kit Kat versus Kit Kat, dash removal. The removal of the dash from the Kit Kat logo created cognitive dissonance over time, making people second-guess what they knew to be true. 5. C-3PO's silver leg. No one remembered C-3PO having a silver leg in the original movies. Now they claim it was always like that. This isn't a mistake. It's an artificial insertion into the collective memory. Social engineering and cognitive warfare. Media and digital tools like TV, cell phones, and computers aren't just for entertainment. They're mind-controlled devices that saturate the population with the same new version of reality until we accept it. The more we are exposed to the new reality, the more we doubt our own memories and accept the corrected version. This isn't a glitch. This is psychological warfare. Thinking, the goal of this mass manipulation is simple. Create unstable minds that are forced to rely on the media for their perception of reality. Make truth fluid so nothing feels solid or provable. Erase the past and replace it with approved narratives. The MK triangle. This is classic MK Ultra style psychological manipulation. It's done slowly, subtly, and methodically. 1. Saturate the media with new versions of reality. Logos, names, scenes, packaging. 2. Slowly remove the original references. 3. Flood the internet with fact-checking to claim the new version has always been the correct one. 4. Gaslight people into doubting their own memories, labeling them as misremembering. 5. Reinforce the new version in younger generations who never experienced the old one. 6. Once the new version is dominant, they erase all traces of the past. Why the TV is the ultimate mind control device. TV and modern digital media isn't just entertainment, it's a tool for cognitive entrainment. When you watch TV, your brain enters a passive state where it absorbs information without critically analyzing it. Subliminal messaging and slow narrative changes are used to manipulate your subconscious into accepting new ideas. TV creates consensus reality. People believe what's broadcasted, not what's real. The solution: unplug and break free. The only way out of this system is to stop consuming mainstream narratives mindlessly. You need to learn from the oldest knowledge possible, step outside the system, and start controlling your own reality. Don't let them gaslight your memory. Trust your own perception over their lies. The real threat: the system doesn't care if you claim sovereignty. They care if you understand how to exit their control system. They fear independent, self-taught intelligence because it cannot be controlled. That's why they push the limits of what they can get away with, constantly scrambling the truth, hoping that people drown in confusion before they figure out what's really going on. The real key to breaking free is recognizing how words, media, and perception shape our reality. The more aware you become, the less they can control you. The Mandela Effect isn't a glitch in the matrix. It's a conscious manipulation of reality itself. You're not crazy, you're just seeing through the illusion. The real game of public, private, and sovereign citizenship, from my perspective. Most people don't even realize they're playing in a rigged game. They're too caught up in the illusion of freedom, when in reality, their status in the system determines their level of control, or lack of it. And the biggest trap? The sovereign citizen movement. It's designed to make people believe they're rebelling when, in fact, they're just putting a bigger target on their backs. The real play isn't fighting the system, it's coexisting within it. Public citizen, the government's legal property. Public citizen is not a free human being. It's a corporate asset, a legal fiction created to lock people into a government-controlled system. Have you checkmarked the moment your birth certificate and social security number were issued? You became a corporate entity, not a free being. Have you checkmarked you are recognized as property of the state, governed by statutes, regulations, commercial codes, and policies, not natural law? Have you checkmarked you are part of the public trust fund, meaning your identity, labor, and movements are regulated and owned by the state? Have you checkmarked you are expected to pay taxes, obey statutory laws, and participate in public governance, voting, jury duty, etc.?